Well, there's no question that Daniel Suarez would finally make it to the Cup Series, but it definitely happened a lot quicker than a lot of people expected. I want to go for Casey Kane, not just because he's a Fox 46 fan, but he was very strong in yesterday's Xfinity race. Not your average, not even a camper. Just explain what we have going on behind me. What is there left to do with your career? She tells me she hopes to one day do the double in May, which is covering the Indianapolis 500 and Coca-Cola 600 back in Charlotte. NASCAR teams spend millions of dollars every year just to race, but the fans down in the infield, they're going back to basics. And although thousands of seats have left Randy's shop, that's not his only motorsports safety initiative. You don't need me to tell you the importance of helmets in the safety of motorsports, but if you're a NASCAR driver in 2017, you don't want to be seen with this plain white helmet out on the racetrack. Today, in these shops that you see behind me, some hard work is being done to bring some smiles to the faces of NASCAR's youngest fans.
You got him, Mikey. You got him, man. You got him.
If you didn't know Dale Earnhardt, you did in 2001.
Get him in the 3 car. Oh! Big trouble. Big wreck behind him.
If Dale Earnhardt was contained better, had a head and neck restraint, and his belts were in the right location, that was a survivable impact.
Randy LaJoie may no longer be behind the wheel in NASCAR, but he's still in the driver's seat.
I started a little seat company, you know, that I thought that was going to make a difference. Well, it has made a difference.
The Joy of Seating is a first-of-its-kind containment seat, custom-fitted to each driver and built from scratch. No seat that leaves the shop is the same.
You know, a lot of people are always different. Some guys' torsos are longer than others. You know, twin brothers had different lengths torsos. So, you know, everybody's not out of a box.
The idea for the seat came from this original tub passed down from his father. It's made of fiberglass, a material that was banned by NASCAR in 1994. LaJoie wanted to continue using a custom-fitted seat, so he went searching for help.
None of the aluminum seat manufacturers, there was a couple here in Charlotte, that they would build it for me. Well, one of them tried. Steve Richardson tried building it for me, and he said, Randy, it's too hard.
Difficult, but not impossible. So Randy stayed persistent, asking another manufacturer.
He didn't want nothing to do with it. And he told me that the seat that I've been using and I won a couple championships in already pretty much was a piece of crap. He didn't use that nicely of a word. And it kind of ticked me off.
Finally, in the mid-90s, LaJoie found an Ohio man who was able to stamp aluminum, and the Joy of Seating was born. Today, the company manufactures seats for NASCAR truck, Xfinity, and Cup Series drivers, but most of the seats being prepared in the shop are for local short track drivers.
I don't believe a Saturday night life is any different than a Sunday afternoon life.
Randy's son, Corey LaJoie, started his racing career on those Saturday night short tracks using a seat from the family business. Now he's a driver in the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series, still using that same custom-fitted seat and giving his dad a few more anxious Sundays.
Watching my boys, I get pretty darn nervous. And I'm nervous more for him to do well, you know, and I've watched him race and compete against the Chase Elliott's and the Kyle Larsons and the Dillon boys and Bubba Wallace's and cars that he built himself and beat them.
Jordan Anderson isn't your typical NASCAR driver.
We're kind of the racing underdogs of the sport of trying to do more with less.
This small shop in Denver, North Carolina is shared by Anderson and fellow driver Mike Harmon. You're more likely to see them under the car than in the driver's seat.
We're both very hands-on with what we have to do, and it's really a mentality of you got to do whatever it takes to get to the racetrack every week. Outside.
Whether it means buying race tires with your own money or driving the truck and trailer to the racetrack.
You race a little bit differently as a small team. You might not take as many chances the bigger teams do that have, you know, 5, 6, 7 trucks in their shop. You've got to be smart and race a little bit differently because you've got to take care of your equipment because, you know, if you want to race the next week, you've got to take care of that truck and survive a race.
But trouble struck Anderson and his small team during the second race of the year, coming off turn 4 at Atlanta.
I knew when we came off the corner and we got spun out that it was going to be a wild ride.
Watch what damage this grass does to this truck. Oh, wow. Look how violent that is.
The truck almost flipping over a seemingly harmless spin into the grass made worse when the front splitter dug in, tearing off the front end.
A hit like that was just a huge blow against us and what we're trying to do each week.
It was the team's only truck for the entire season. Today, the number 12 still sits in the shop with mud caked on from Atlanta, missing both the front and rear from the crash. Anderson doesn't have the sponsorship money to get back on track right away, so he took to social media.
Every little bit goes a long way for us.
At the top of his Twitter page, you'll find a link to sponsorjordan.com. Anderson calls the initiative fueled by fans because they choose the amount to donate.
Just small amounts, $20 here, $20 there, and it adds up. The front clip that's on that truck right now, the fans helped to get that deal put together. So it's just been amazing to see their support and the exposure that we've gotten from it, because this is really, when I say fueled by fans, this is a grassroots campaign that's fueled by the fans that keep us on the racetrack every week.
And the effort goes beyond just the fans. Anderson was able to make it to Martinsville last weekend with a truck donated by a fellow team. The hard work in the shop each week worth it for a chance to race against NASCAR's best.
I do love NASCAR. I love everything about it, and working to do whatever it takes to stay in the sport. So, you got to get creative sometimes. It's not always easy, and there's a lot of ups and downs, but I think that's so much about life is the mountaintop experience. If you want to get to the top, you've got to go through the mountains and the valleys to get there.
A grassroots driver we all hope gets his chance to be a champion. In Denver, I'm Brett Baldeck for Around the Track.